Welcome to the Recall Singularity Space Factory game live stream with Tom Lees. I'd like to welcome you to my stream. Thank you for coming by to watch. I really appreciate all the support online, viewers just hanging out with me, Twitter, whatever, or just listening to my voice, which seems to be the favorite. It's really appreciated. I last streamed, I think it was just before the weekend. On Thursday. At the time I was working on the menu, which you can see here for the Space Factory game. So, resuming and so on here. I'll give you a quick demo in a second, but I just wanted to cover that not much has happened since the last stream. So if you saw that, then you're pretty much up to date. This is a little spaceship. I've got a little person that can walk around in my spaceship. I can build a small factory. So I've got scoops here, which in the factory logic, let me just check that this is working. The game currently doesn't have any sound. So we've got a conveyor here like this. Got a scoop. We can create a conveyor, place it here. Gold comes out like so. We can make a refinery. Right now, I can't choose what the refinery actually does. So it's hard coded to always refine the gold. My current thinking is that it refines the gold into two products, which are slag. The animations here, I've got some glitches that need fixing. It's got two products, one which is refined gold and one is slag. I'm using a placeholder crate, even though I've got some great new art available. So there's a lot that's placeholder about the game, and there's a much which is essentially makes it a technical demo. I'm concerned about how to make sure that this little factory works, how to place multiple ships. We can also create a flight disk and fly. The requirement to fly is not based at the moment on flight disks. You can actually just fly without one. So you can move your factory ship around. So the idea of the game is that it's like a lot of factory games in that you're building factories, but they're always inside ships. And the ships can be moved, so you might have mining ships, refining ships, kind of assembling space stations that don't have engines, that sort of thing. But in the game at the moment, in its current state, doesn't require engines, kind of magic. And the physics recently was changed from the Rust library in physics to the one called Rapier, which means I haven't implemented things like collisions, so I can fly straight through other ships. So this game extensively uses Rust for its simulation. That's the programming language Rust, and then interacts with that. It's also using Godot. And there are some asteroids I can also collide with. These are all using the same seed because of another bug. And I'm currently working on menus. So in the last stream we added this menu where pretty much every button does nothing. They all just resume. So if I click this, it'll just resume, etc. So what I wanted to do on stream was to fix that. I want these two buttons at the top, one ship and local, to restart the game in the relevant modes. And I want the options one to have an options screen that you can choose some things from, and leave game will exit, that sort of thing. Leave game will go right to a main menu, essentially like a local. That's the plan. Fly through here. Okay. So let's just close that for a moment, and we're back here in our scene root, which it looks pretty boring because all the things that you saw are created dynamically from code inside Star World, that sort of thing. Where are we? We can see that the environment is currently a grassy plain. The background is the number of layers. I've discussed this in previous streams. So let's worry about the game restarting buttons first, because that sounds more interesting to me. So we go to the UI subscene, and inside the UI subscene I have the 2D, UI 2D, and inside that we have one for the game, which is this one, and one for the menu, which is this one. I meant to change the UI zoom for my entire screen at some point. I didn't do that before the stream, sorry. Coffee. One needs coffee to survive. Okay. So the one ship and local buttons, I'm going to need to... There's a couple of things I want to do with these. One is at the moment I've got a different scene that I use for the standalone game. So what I just showed you was this version of the game, the standalone game, has got a simpler scene in it. And I've been trying to figure out whether how I want to load the Star World. Wonder if it's as simple as just destroying and recreating that Star World from a sub-scene. We could just start with that and see if it works. We've got another thing which is to do with options. So I'm in the middle of creating an options menu, and I pulled in an options sub-project which gave me a demo folder. Let me just quickly show you the demo, and then I'll back out from that. So the demo allows me to create settings, demo scene, and we hit run on the scene. So you get some music. I'm not sure if you can hear my music actually. I think you can hear it through my desktop audio. Is not registering any sound. Anyway, let's just turn my desktop audio down a bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. So we can push escape from menu and change the screen mode. In this demo, we can change the zoom. This is all like a go.settings options. We've got volume controls. We can rebind keys. And so push keys, nothing really happens. So I'm going to back out of that particular project because I'm not quite ready to take that on right this second on stream. So I'm going to use Git to fall back to the previous version. So let's just make a quick commit. That's we'll make a new branch. This is Git extensions, which is how I manage Git. Create new branch here and feat options. Okay. And then commit the changes that are currently in the repository. So I'm not sure. I'm going to keep the demo. We'll probably back that out at some point. This is all stuff I got from adding the go.settings project. So we'll add that all. UI, I'll leave that change in. Ship route, 3D route. We won't commit that stuff. Okay, so this is the UI settings project added. So the plan is I make a commit of the things that are to do with this and are work in progress. And now I can go back and check out the previous commit, which was essentially, it's like shelving. It gets rid of that stuff for now. I can come back to it later. So, okay, so it can't get rid of a font file, probably because Godot's still holding it. So we'll just quit out to the project list. Yes. So we'll just say yes. Okay. So with that done, I've now got a cleaner project to work with. So the next thing to do is I think I'm going to load and unload a subscene in order to change which type of game it is. Probably the simplest. Although now that I think about it, I need to reset where the lookout camera is. I wonder if we could reload the entire current scene, if that's a smart thing to do. Yeah, because the other option is just to recreate the whole scene. Let's see how one changes the entire current scene. I'll just bring up a browser tab for that and throw it over here. Oops. Okay, I need to minimize all my private stuff before I bring it onto the main screen. Okay. Change scene. You'll have to excuse me, I use documentation a lot because I don't know everything and I haven't prepared like a tutorial stream. This is me figuring it out as I go. Hopefully that inspires you to just butts along on your own, like muck around on your own projects as well, without feeling like you have to be perfect all the time. I can't make that full screen because it goes off the edge. What you can see. So, okay, where's the boundary of what you can see? My screen is a bit wider than the stream is. Okay, that'll do. So we'll open up the documentation. How to load and change scenes. So you get the tree and you change the scene and you provide a path. Okay. So if we tried that, can't remember if, I think standalone scene already will run. This is the one that's got a simple demonstration mode. This is the one I want if the person chooses the top button in the menu. So it's the one ship option. So they get one ship, they can build a floor. Yep. I need a loading screen. And then I push menu. So I want one ship to go into this screen and local to open the other scene, which is 3D route. 1 second. I should probably use the stream mute button for that. Hopefully the volume's back at about the right level. Let's see. Yes, so I was going to load these two. Makes me think I should rename them. I'm afraid of renaming them and causing other issues right this second, so let's not just do that. So all the UI at the moment is controlled from this one UI script. It's a bit rubbish of me because I'm not really using signals properly. Like the signals will come into this script, but I could be doing a lot of stuff that I'm doing here with signals as well. I'm kind of just getting on with my lower knowledge of how to do things right in Godot. You'll have to bear with me. I want to load this other scene from here when you click those buttons. So let's go into the menu, which is in the UI subscene, and then in the main menu, we're going to go into these different buttons, and local, we're going to change the pressed, disconnect that signal and make a new one, and it goes into the UI connect on local pressed. So if the person pushes a local button, we want to reload a given scene. So let's just try and see if this works. Get tree, change scene, and the scene we want is 3D standalone. No, we want the 3D route, so we'll copy path and paste it in here. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for the other one, 2D, one ship. Disconnect this, and for pressed, connect a new one, which is the new UI again, connect. And instead of 3D route, we'll try 3D standalone and see if reloading the scene is enough. Because it's kind of like what I'm doing in the editor. There's a really quick way of doing it. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much distress for the player. See how that looks. So if I click one ship, resume, we're in the one ship mode, menu, local, resume. Well, actually, that works perfectly. That was a lot simpler than I expected. It's always good when things turn out really easy. So the other thing I want to do is once they enter, I want to hide the menu. So I do that by, I wonder if we change the scene, if the current UI goes away. I wonder if I can say exit menu here, or if it'll blow up. Or maybe I just need to change the code so it doesn't go straight into the menu. Yeah, it's probably tidier to do that. So let's just go to UI, and here at ready, it deliberately enters the menu, but if I get rid of this code here, I think it will work perfectly. So we run the game. So if I bring up the menu and choose one ship, oh, okay. Let's put that code in that I was going to try and do, which was exit menu here, which will get rid of the menu after it's loaded that scene, hopefully. But I'm just worried that this UI subscene that I'm currently exiting has just been deleted, essentially. We'll see if this works. So my face is covering, let's see what my face is covering. My face is covering this area here, which probably could be useful, so I'll just put my face on the other side of the stream, and then hopefully that makes things easier to see. Resume. So menu, one ship. Does the menu go away? No. It isn't particularly surprising. I wonder about reloading a subsection of the scene. I mean, it may also be to do with the fact that the UI has now been saved with this menu visible. I guess the other option is to say exit menu at the bottom here. Let's just see if that works. That'll explicitly hide the main menu when the scene starts. Yeah, so that's exited in this example. And then when I push one ship, yep, that exits. Okay, local. So the difference between these two modes is this one here has a whole space world and there's a little person who I actually can't see. That's a worry. Why can't I see myself? Obviously the person's there because odd. Menu, resume. The player puck is hiding. Anyway, so there's a little person you can't see. And then there's scoops and conveyors and so on. And then in the other option, which is one ship, you just build a floor. So menu. So for the one ship option, I probably should have it start with a bit of a floor because it's a bit confusing if you don't have anything. And for the local option, I want it to start with a spaceship here. I thought I fixed that problem already in Rust because those are both Rust initialization situations. Like, did I lose those changes when I reverted here? Or have I added them and not committed them? I'm not sure. Or was it that in the local, the ship I'm thinking of is further from the origin? Let's make a ship core and fly there and see what we see. Okay, this time I can't even create cores, I can't even see them. There's some interesting stuff going on with the visibility or the reloading of the stuff. Probably, I wonder how much it's to do with state in Rust being a problem. Because there are some singletons running in Rust, in the Rust code base, that could possibly be holding state. I wonder if the console has any clues. Oh, it doesn't look good. This is the first time that I've been recreating the scene. Let's have a look at the Rust code and see how well it would manage that. Because now we've got to the point where there's a ton of errors here. I can't really see what's going on. So stop. It's very quiet in chat today. Oh well, that's fine. I was looking at my stats. Some people watching, that's nice. And a few viewers, thank you for coming to see. It's always nice to have new people. If you want to say hello, I'd much appreciate it. I can say hello back. Otherwise, let's see. Something interesting in my Discord there. Oh, let's jump over to Rust, shall we? So the in Rust, the bindings between. So if you're new to this project, you might not know that the ships are controlled from Rust, the factories. Hello, Pedro. Thank you for saying hi. Nice to meet you. The bindings between Rust and Godot are managed by StarWorld Link and this other one here, Ship Link. So for the one that's a single test ship, it'll be going directly to Ship Link. StarWorld Link also creates ships, and it connects us with a simulation that I'm running through this Sector Moon. Oh, thank you, Pedro. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for dropping by. Tell me, did you find me on Reddit or Twitter? Online, Sector Mute. So what I'm worried about is that my get singleton online state It initializes a sector just once. So it's essentially saving between runs. So I might need to add a function that forces a rebuild. I'm just going to cough again. I'll mute this for a second. Oh, nice. Wonderful, Pedro. Thank you. I'm glad you managed to drop by and see the streaming notification and come on in. Hope that doesn't mess you guys up too much. Just in my chair. Yeah, it's really helpful when you guys come along and watch, because it's a bit lonely developing by yourself, and it's very motivating to have a little bit of company on the stream. It really helps me keep moving forward. So I appreciate your time to come and watch me and hang out. Oh gosh, I could play with this microphone for hours, just trying to get it perfect, because if it's right in front of my face like this, you get a much better audio experience than if it's like off here somewhere. Okay. Online. So I don't want to just get the state here. I want to force a reinitialization, because we're in the ready routine of StarWorld Link. So just to bring you back to Godot, the way this works, and let me just put this together a bit, is that in 3D Root, in the scene, StarWorld, this one here, has a script, and the script is this idea of a native script, and so it's called StarWorld Link. And then GD Native, the Rust library, finds that class StarWorld Link here, and it opens the relevant Rust code, and it treats it kind of like a Godot script, so it calls its ready function and so on. And so if I get a call to the ready function, I know that StarWorld script has just been created, and so in here I need to do whatever is necessary to reinitialize a StarWorld Link. So this call here gets singleton online state. It locks the online state, and I've got local test, which is the one that I want it to initialize. So I need to go back to StarWorld Link and check that it calls. See, it defaults to that. So I should probably say online.local test like this, and that will force it to recreate the local test, which is what it was doing initially anyway. So this local test call, what it does is, online state's protected by a mutex a bit further down, and it in turn contains a game, so a test local game with a test sector inside, containing a simple local game which has like a ship in it and so on. That's enough to initialize it. By calling this function, it recreates that local test. I've made a mistake. I want to say start client, kill client. So where is local test used? Yeah, so that recreates the mutex. So I'm just going to split this and put it on the right hand side. In StarWorld Link, where are we? So normally I call start client, which I imagine mutates the, yeah. Exactly. So I need a start client, and then I also need a start local. So let's just copy this start client to make it start local. I just want something that mutates self as opposed to something that rebuilds online state from scratch. So start local. And so client is none. So we're not connected to a third party, and then we can test server like that. And then I can call start local here That makes sense. So later on, when I expose networked play to Godot, because right now I can only create it like by hard coding it in, but later on when I set that up, I'll want to have some sort of parameter here or something, I imagine. And then the other one was in ShipLink. I've set up the standalone scene so it calls a particular function here, which is something like start set a standalone. Yeah, here it is. And it creates a new standalone ship, which is the components. And so I just want to add something here to populate something in the world. So, and the way I want to do that is to create some floor. So, floor, and where's floor changed? Because there's an action I've got that builds floor tiles, edit floor. And action adjust floor. So if we put in an action straight after we set a standalone here, I could even do it in Godot actually, this requirement to build a floor. Which is what I might do. Okay, so I made some changes to my Rust code. In order to recompile my Rust code, I need to quit out of whoops, not out of Discord, out of Godot. I need to jump out to the project list because it's holding the DLL, which wasn't a problem I had initially. I think I've done something to break that so it doesn't leave the DLL unheld. So now that I'm out of that, I can recompile. So I'm just going to launch the compile from here. I need to figure out what I'm doing on my other screen, which you can't currently see. More left, more right. Got, yeah, there's a small version of the other screen. On the other screen, I've got all my streaming windows open. One for managing the stream. One over here is like watching my console and the chat. Just keep that organized. Okay, the compile's done. So that's written the DLL directly into where the Godot expects to scoop it up. So if I run Godot now, run that up again. Sorry, the screen has forgotten how big it should be. That's about that big, yeah. Excellent. And I run this again. Hopefully it will, when I recreate the local multiple times, it'll keep working, because the little person disappeared after we did this a couple of times last time. Local. Oh, I guess that's correct. One ship. Nothing. Local. Cool. Add a couple of things to this, and then do local again. Cool. So that recreates it fine. The other thing I wanted to do was when I entered the standalone mode, I'd quite like it if we built some floor inside the ship. So each ship has all these different functions here, and I'd like to place some floor, start lock, end lock. So let's see how I'm going to open VS Code for this. VS Code is opening somewhere. Here we are, finally it's open. So, place floor. I'll see an example of how I place the floor. Oh, that's really helpful. It just uses the word type, so place type. I just wanted to know what place type could be. It's probably going to be add, yep, capital A. And that'll match my enumerator. Cool. So there's some code to do it, and I wanted to replace the script Let's see which script I was changing. Standalone. And the StarWorld script, which is called standalone.gd. And in here, in ready, I wanted the same path as before. We'll call the ship itself and we'll place floor. And the start lock is, let's just put some vectors in here. So we want a vector 2. I think that's what I was doing, vector 2. I remember it was a vector 2 or if it was 2 ints. See how I'm clicking on C line, but it's not coming up. There's something weird goes on here where it doesn't want to come to the front. There we go, finally. Wow, this is really big fonts, big, hard to manage. That's the problem is this. Okay. I just want to see what I expect to be called here for add floor. Add floor. Edit floor. And it expects from dict box. Oh yes, that's right. So I unpack these inside of, I expect 2 vectors, I think. I unpack these inside of my Visual Studio Code. So jump back to my wrapper and yeah. And I call place floor. Yeah, it unpacks these 2 vectors, start lock, end lock, start lock, end lock. Great. Okay. That's starting to make some sense. God, this must be hard to follow for you guys. It's jumping between all these different editors. Sorry about that. So we'll jump into standalone.gd and we're back in the ready function. And in here, I'd like in ships, ship4 dot. I think in Godot I'd already started editing this. Yeah. Want to place floor. We want a vector 2. Let's just say we want to start from -10, -10, and we want to go to. This is where I'm going to build a floor for the player, so they've got something to work with when they first load in. +10, +10, and place type is add, and we'll just see. Overwrite. We'll just see if, yep, that's what I wrote. That comes up okay. Menu, local, menu, one ship. So that's the floor area that I just defined. So -10, -10 would be that side, I think. And then that goes up on the X. And that's going up on a Y. Yeah. Anyways, you can build stuff in here. Oop. Can turn this around. Pushing R for rotate. Great. Okay, so that's one ship and loco. Those 2 buttons work. Options doesn't do anything. Leave game doesn't do anything. I need a loading screen. That doesn't do anything. It just brings you back here. So how do we exit the game? There's probably a command that I can put on my just duplicate, add tab, and exit go dot from GD script. Is there a way to close the game using GD script? Yep, get tree.quit. Easy peasy. Okay, so we'll go into the UI scene again. We'll find our leave game button, go to its signals, remove the existing one, which was because I copied resume. They all have the resume action. Connect a new one. I'll leave game pressed. Leave game doesn't do anything right now. We'll just make the leave game go to on local pressed. Okay. It's not correct, but it'll do for now. You might notice some glitching here. I've figured out that due to the way I control my camera, when Godot's running, it's constantly trying to overwrite the camera position, and it causes a visual glitch where this jumps around. I need to change my camera logic so that that doesn't happen, I guess. So that it ignores the fact that the position's getting overridden by Godot somehow. It's because I'm smoothing from the current position towards where I want it to go. Yeah, what are we doing? 2D. We're going to make the exit button. So once again, we're going to remove this signal. Oh, I pushed the wrong delete. Remove this signal and connect a new one. And that's the quit command. Let's put a little comment here saying exit the game now. So shouldn't even have to restart. So hit menu. Oh, interesting, it seems to have locked up somehow. Oh, I've used a C style, Rust style comment here. Okay, menu, exit. Interesting. Try that again. Maybe the signal didn't get set up again. Like the menu already existed, and when I exited it, yeah, there we go. I didn't recreate the signal to the right place. Okay, so we have most of the stuff here apart from the options menu. We've got menu, resume, menu, one ship, which creates this one, local, which creates this multiple scene. It takes a long time to do this. I think it's probably reloading this texture and stuff. So if we're smarter, we'd be able to avoid the loading time somehow. I'll worry about that later. Options doesn't do anything. We've got leave game, which takes us back to the local option, and we've got exit, which quits the game. So it's a good place to make a commit, just saying. Okay, so once again, I got this problem where the Godot keeps stealing the UI. Let's get rid of this. Hooray. Okay. Commit. So we want this stuff all in the game. Just reviewing my changes and make sure there's nothing here I didn't think I wanted. Wonderful. Okay. Can restart the local and one ship game modes from the Godot menu. That's what I was just typing in this box below. Okay. So in my commit history, I've got this commit that I just created. It's on master. I mean, I don't really have the best Godot hygiene the best Git hygiene right now. Hey, thanks for the like, by the way. I appreciate that. But hey, it's just me. Who cares? Let me just. I'm on stream. I'm on stream. So you can't come in. Yes. No, not right now. Okay. Just ignore that. Sorry about that. Kids are home for teacher only day, but they're fine. Don't worry about them. Okay. I was going to move this one up to here. Okay, so let's grab. I don't know why it's selecting so many different options. We want to grab this commit and check it out. Just need to check my commit, what's currently modified. Okay, so there's nothing here that's really dirty. So we should be able to check out this commit. Branch feed options. Check it out. Yes. Okay. Merge in the changes I just made. So now I've got a version that has those kind of work in progress UI option stuff I was showing you before. Yeah. We're going to want to remove the demo project soon enough. I might even have to clean it up once I've done it, or squash, which will get rid of it from the history. We'll figure that out. So if we jump back across to Godot, the next thing I want to work on is my settings. So I've got this options menu. So I want this options menu to take us to a new page, essentially. A new subscene or a new menu. I'm thinking the easiest way to manage this is probably to need to have all the different menu screens here in the scene tree. We've got the main menu, and then we'll have an options menu, and so let's just start by making an options menu here. So we'll just duplicate this tab, duplicate, and we'll call this one options, and it can have some key options and some buttons. So and what's special about options? So I'm just hiding everything and showing just the options, and let's think about what we want on the options screen. We definitely want to have a button that goes back to main menu, right? So we would call that one a main menu button, main menu, or apply, or and the text will be main menu. And then the other buttons here, these ones, I mean, one of the ones I really want to have, we'll just delete this button, delete, and then there's a couple of controls here. You'll see that I'm just using to create some vertical space. Like I just create an empty control, and because of the way the padding works, it's an easy way of making vertical space. So that's what that's there for. Let's go through the things I might want in my options. So one will be render settings, or visuals, or video, or graphics, or render. Display, graphics. Let's go with display for now. Okay, so we'll call that the display button. And the next one down can be audio. What can the next one down be? Controls. And I like the idea of having a few major controls here on the main page. A couple of major ones would be resolutions, or audio levels, or mouse sensitivity. However, I'm not sure. I mean, it's going to keep on trucking on. Worse is better. I'm going to figure this out as I go. Rect. It's going to give this space a bit more size. So let's just say it's got to be 10 pi, or try again. We'll try 30. Just give it a bit of vertical space. Okay, so then we have a display subpage. This is the one that I'm most worried about because if you looked at my visuals, and you'll notice that it has quite an expensive shader operation which does local screen space ambient occlusion, which makes everything look nicer, the lighting, but it kills computers with out high powered graphics card. And since a lot of people have no high powered graphics card, it's a real problem. So I need to have an option to turn that off. I might even need to default to that off. So that's the like that and resolution are the most important things to me. So let's make another menu under options. We'll just call it display. So I'm going to copy this again. And we'll call this display. I always get worried that I'm doing things wrong, but I just need to do something. Doesn't really matter if it's perfect, because I know that my future self will figure out what's wrong and fix it. So it's better to make something and get it wrong than to sit here all day and do nothing. So we've got all these buttons here. Now I'm using this. You may recall I showed a demo at the start of the stream. I'm using this other system source demo scene to deal with my options. So hopefully I can go to into their menu. They'll have a settings menu. There we go, and they have some controls in here. So they have whether the window is full screen, the window scale, an audio slider, keyboard settings. Okay, so I guess these ones are for the different buttons, and they have the system where you create buttons. So let's start by copying the window scale. Now we don't want to work with the window scale system that I have here. We want to work with something else, which is a straight up resolution setting, which is an option they also have. So for display in this container, I'm going to throw. Oh, I can't do it. I can't paste. I just push Control C, Control V. That didn't work. So we're going to merge from scene. Merge from scene. And in here, it'll ask us to choose a scene. So the scene we want is in source and then in manager, I think. No. Oh, I think it's in the demo. Demo. Source. Demo scene. So, no. I don't want demo scene. I wanted the settings menu. There we go. So I want. Oh, I see. They're using the labels. Cool. So we want this stuff. Okay. Interesting. It's messed up the way the buttons work. So these things, those are there. Okay. Then there's a main menu, so it's overlapping. Why is this doubled main menu? There's some sort of rendering glitch going on here. Maybe it's to do with it not redrawing the display. Oh, I know. I think there's two menus visible. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, we're working. So as you can see, these are really tiny right now. I want the main menu to go underneath everything else. And so the one I want here isn't the main menu, it's going to be going back to options. Maybe I should just say back. Just make that a button that says back. Or apply. Let's just say apply. Because there is no option not to apply. Okay. So we've got a screen mode and a window scale control. We don't want these three buttons on this particular screen, so we'll just get rid of those. Okay. Screen mode So let's see what we've got here. It'll have a font, won't it? Somewhere in here, theme. All fonts, all nodes. Theme. What is theme? Oh yes, theme as a default font. Buttons. So I probably want to put a theme into my UI folder. As you can see, I'm not doing anything special with my theme right now. So where's my theme option? Theme. Resource. Not sure how to save my theme out as its own thing. Anyway, the default font is going to be this UI font. Small menu. Great. And then save. Should we save? Yep, there we go. Finally. UI. What's called a theme? Theme. Great. Okay, so with a default theme, we've got this default font, screen mode. Seem to be making some reasonable progress. So the scale here requires also a theme. So I'll just grab, where's the theme I just made? Should be in here. There we go, and drop that on here. Plop. So those have both got the nice theme, and then inside the theme, I should be able to define the font somewhere. How does one edit a theme? There's a default font option here. So for the default font, I want a small menu font. I think I already have put that in there. Yeah. It's very pixelated in this preview. I think we'll leave it at that for now. Get a control here, we don't need that. But I want to move the control just to here so it makes some space. Okay. The other thing I want to do is be able to change which menu we're in. So we've got a main menu, an options menu, a display menu. In this menu, I had an option to enter menu and a specific menu name. What I'd like to do is go through all the children and only show the one that matches that name. So let's just try a basic version of this. I want to go through for child, that's right, for child index in range num children or children num. What does get children do? Then it returns a number of children there are. Get children returns an array of references to nodes children. Oh well, that's good. That's probably exactly what I want. So in where were we? We're in the menu script. Yep. So I don't need to use range. I can just do this. So for the child and get children, I should be able to say child dot name. Is there a dot name function? Doesn't want to go to it. Let's just have a quick look in go.node API. I said node. I want node API. Oh, it's a node sharp. Go.sharp. I've never seen go.sharp before. That must be for the C# option. Yeah. Okay. Class node. And we'll go in here and there should be something for a name. Name. Okay, it's just a property called name. Fine, so it's not a function. So if the child name equals the menu name, show else hide. I could say visibility equals child name equals menu name, but I just thought this would be a bit clearer. And then so now when I mention a menu, I need to mention the name that exists in this node. So I see this word options here with a capital O, or menu here with a capital M. So in UI, for instance, I have a enter menu and I use main. That would have to have a capital M. There's a button on the UI which enters the main menu. Here we go. That needs to be a capital M as well. I might have to say to lower, or let's just try and make this case sensitive for now. Not sure how to handle an error on this one. If I want to handle it, I'd have to say this is the same var menu found equals false, and then inside the show option I say menu found equals true, and then if not menu found, we're going to print something, print, and we say could not find menu in it's called menu enter menu. I'm using the Rust nomenclature for sub function just to keep things simple, and we'll say menu name. Great. So if we can't find that menu, because I'm looking at my pictures, hopefully that picture isn't in the way for you guys. My face. Do I say something nice? Do I say something bad? I don't know. It's a face. We'll just leave it at that. A picture of me and my incredibly tidy office. Could not find the menu. So in Ready, if I enter menu foo, it should come up with an error straight away. The identifier game settings isn't declared in the current scope. So my settings system, which I'm copied the UI stuff from, requires me to go into my project and add a particular scene with a singleton. Project settings, I need to auto load, and in here I need to add source manager game settings. This scene is a singleton so that all the UI stuff can find it. Add close. Let's try running that again. Great. So that came up. Menu. Now I want to look for an error message here saying it couldn't find a menu. Could not find menu, enter menu, foo. Okay, so that error message looks okay, although I don't like the formatting of it. Menu. We'll just put a bit of space around this. That. And then not sure why. Oh yeah, no. I'm not sure why we didn't get to see a menu when I pushed the menu button, because I pushed the menu button up here and nothing showed up. So let's just try that one more time. There's no error showing here. So what we should see is it finds the main menu and shows it. I'll reload this and do it again. Yeah. Oh, I need to say child.show. Silly me. Right. Do it one more time. I'll hit that breakpoint there. Just yep. So resume menu, resume menu. So we need to make it so when we push this options button, it calls a function with the word options, which should be very easy. So now I'm thinking that for all the signals in the menu, we're going to call into this particular piece of code as opposed to the UI code. Until now, most of the stuff in the game is going into this UI kind of singleton that lives at the top level. For the menu, I'll put everything into the menu script. So let's do that. Where are we? We're in the demo scene. That's why this tree doesn't make sense to me. So jump across to here, and in the script, I want to go back to the menu script, and we're going to start connecting buttons together. So we want to make it so the options button is a signal on pressed, disconnect. We'll connect it to the menu, which is, I'm just going to switch mice. I'm trying a new mouse. I'm not used to it yet, so it gives me fancy sore. So then I want to use the menu script. Connect. Yep, let's come to the right place. And I want to jump to the options menu, into menu options. Cool. And then if we go back to the scene and we go down a bit further, we'll find there's a so let's show the options menu and hide the display menu. We got these buttons: display, audio, controls, main menu. Let's just quickly hide the audio and controls. Just got display and main menu, and then on display we'll create a signal. Disconnect. Connect. Menu. Sorry, I got lost here for a second. Connect. On display pressed, we want to enter a menu called display. Okay, so that's us going in. And then we have the main menu button. So we're going to change its signal, remove the exit functionality it used to have, connect it once again to menu, which is here, and then this one's going to enter menu, and its menu is main. We could probably use this function for a bunch of stuff. Scene, and then we have the apply button, and to remove that, press to connect. And even though it's called apply, what it really does is goes into the main menu, and we don't want advanced. We'll just say on display, with the display in there, on display applied, press to connect. And I'm just going to say just does the same thing as going to the options screen does. We could put something here that like applies the display settings. So to my knowledge, I think we've just done enough to make an interactive menu that goes into the submenu and out again. Let's just see if that works. So I push menu. If I push options, it should show an options screen. Push display should show a display screen. Push apply, back to the options menu, and then back to the main menu. Options, display. So I should better, yep, full screen. It's off the edge of what you can see. Took a while for OBS Studio to figure out how to show that. But if I was to zoom out, yeah, let's not muck around with that too much. It's going black on your screen, but it's not going black on my screen. It's just OBS Studio takes a while to figure out they've gone into a full screen application and come out, and it's just causing a black screen in the stream. But in my computer, it's not doing that. Window scale is making the window different sizes, but I don't want to use a scale system. I want to use a resolution system. I'm not sure if I can change, if I can... Resolution scale is supposed to be for pixel-based games. I'm not sure if I can do full screen resolution changes with a stream attached without causing all sorts of issues for you guys to watch. Oh, there's a little stretch. Oh, I've been sitting still for a while. How long have I been sitting still? Almost an hour. Yeah, I should probably get up and stretch at some point soon. Anyway. So one thing I have to do is go into the configuration for the system. Now, I believe I have to go into source and manager, and then there's this base settings, or was it game settings scene? You know, open the game settings scene. Or is it base settings? Yeah. Let's have a look at the documentation for Godot settings. Oh yeah, let's do my history on a stream. That's really smart. Godot game settings. After adding GDS to your project, set up game settings so it works properly. You add it to the auto load and do things like setting up window size. The window size settings are what I want right now because I don't want scales. So I think they must be inside this one of these settings, like base setting or game settings. Okay, you go into window size. That's right, it's in settings. Go over the scene. Yeah, so it has all these settings, and then you choose window size. There we go. So you can say whether it's a resolution type, and then window resolutions. You can start adding stuff in here, but I'd rather do it in here like they suggested, which was to so there's some resolutions that someone might enjoy. And then we can, I mean, we probably need to enumerate these from the graphics card at some point. Wow, that default resolution isn't ideal for this game. We probably don't really want to support that as an option. It's too low. Anyway, menu. Good thing I can stretch it, hey? Options, display, Windows. Oh, it's still showing scale. I need to change this control. There's another control that I can use. I'll just quit. There's another control I can use here. So go to UI, Windows scale. Let's show the display menu. We're going to change this to a resolution one. How do I change what setting it is? Yes, those are subscenes, aren't they? Base components. Yeah, and then there's generic components. So in here there must be window resolution. There we go. So you got a window resolution, AL, DD. What does DD mean? I see, it's a drop down where you got left, right. Okay, cool. So we're going to grab the resolution and we're going to drop it into the settings menu scene. This is the default one, the demo one. So instance child scene, and choose the window resolution. This. Put it where the scale used to be and get rid of the scale. Delete. Okay. And the resolution needs me to apply the theme again. So let's just throw the theme in here. UI theme split. Save. Run. Something's wrong with the setting. I think it's not happy that I removed resolution setting 0. Go to the game settings. It was game settings, and then there was a window resolution, window size. Yeah, and we need to add some more options here. 0, 1, 2. I didn't like option 0. 1 and 2. I wonder what would be some good typical display resolutions. Typical display resolutions. Let me just bring that result over here. So here's a nice list of typical display resolutions. So I wonder if I can get that in text. Let's go back. List of common resolutions. And wow. It's a bit too many resolutions here. Thanks, Wikipedia. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and type in some of these. So we'll make this a bit narrower. And place this. Can you see it? Yep. So I'm going to go down this list here on the right hand side. And so what would be my default? I think my default would be this one here, like 1080p or 720 resolution. I don't think there's any much point worrying about that one. Grab a command prompt. Python. Okay, so I've got some resolutions I want to define. So there would be L equals making a list, and a list of tuples, and 2560 1440. The next one is 1920 1080. Let me just pump up the resolution on this. Edit. Font size 28. Okay, and then make the window a bit smaller. Okay, so that's not the resolution I like. We got 1280 720. We've got 2560 1600. We've got 1920 1200. We've got 1680 1050. We've got 2560 560 1920. Let's go through all of them. 2048 1536 got 1600 1200 400. It's all glamour and cool stuff when it comes to game development streams, hey. Sometimes it's just more expedient to do something dumb than it is to search around forever for the perfect solution. There's 2 resolutions of 960. No, that one there's got 768, 768. 800 by 600. We've done 800, 800, 600. Yeah. I can't be bothered doing the TV resolutions it's got at the bottom there. They're really weird ones. Okay. So we've defined a list of all the resolutions. We want to sort it based on the first resolution. So that would be A0. So now it's sorted based on the first resolution, increasing order. And then for each one, we want to output a string, which is similar to this. We want a, that's the example string. So print, comma, backslash in that dot join with a string that contains an index. That's the first value is going to be this index here, %d, and then there's 2 more numbers, %d and %d. We don't need a comma in that string, and we supply the arguments. So the arguments we want are might need to use single. Actually, it's probably easy to use single quotes here. So let's use a single quote. There you go. Index x, y for index x, y, and enumerate L. Did I miss a bracket? Where have I missed a bracket? Ah, I need to put a bracket here. Oh, yeah, there we go. So there's a list. 0 is this resolution, 1 is that resolution, etc. So copy this, Control C or Enter, Enter, and paste it in here. Okay. So some resolutions ordered by the x-axis and nicely formatted with numbers down the side. Yeah. Since the most labor-intensive part of the process was typing that in, I might just paste that into the source code. Oof. And then the other thing which was important was the formatting command. So we'll just grab this and we'll simplify it. So that's there. And then we don't need the console interrogatories that remind me I needed brackets. So we'll delete those and put that there. So that is our source for creating the resolutions, like so. Use it again next time. Hooray! It's just, I think that's all about right. 8 by 6, 768, 916. Okay, and I might off stream go and try all those resolutions in full screen mode, because I think if I tried them, cannot get section on base null instance. I think it's complaining about one of my options. So let's see if there's a call stack. Which setting is it trying to get? Setting null. There's a call stack somewhere. There we go. Which game settings is it? Game settings, window size. Is it telling me something? What have I missed here? Yeah, I don't understand why I'm getting this particular error. Because I'm not familiar with the game settings class and I don't know what I've messed up. Let's see and get what I've changed. I won't get. It's very annoying how they won't stay maximized much. Okay, so I've moved the settings menu. Got the menu names for the navigation, those were good. Got the main name. There's a lot of code removed from window resolution AL. I don't think I remembered I meant to remove that. All this. We'll just revert the changes to that, maybe? Probably got changed because I changed the scripts. So we'll revert that one and revert this one. Game settings. Not sure why there's the type L. Oh yes, I chose that I wanted a particular type of scaling. Here's my changes to make the resolutions different. That's fine. I added a theme. Got different menus here. Windows resolution. Theme, those two menus. There's a lot of new stuff being added here. Okay. Sure. It said it's the changes I made. I did revert 2 changes to those subscenes, so it's possible that's the reason why it's now going to work. Let's see. Run. We do still have that in the project settings, don't we? Auto load, yep, it's still enabled. Oh, it's just started raining. If you'll excuse me for a second, I'm just going to take a minute away from the screen while I go and check that nothing is raining into the house. So I'll just be a minute. And I'll put the stream essentially on pause for you. Where are we? OBS Studio should have an audio control. Yep, there we go. Mute the Hello, I'm back. Video. There we go. Yeah, hold on just a second. I think it's a good time for me to actually wrap up the stream right now. I need to go and attend to some stuff. So, thank you so much for waiting. If you're just waiting through this period of dead air while I was sorting that out, and I'll catch you again soon. Jump on Twitter and follow me, or on Discord. And thanks for watching with me. Have a nice day. Bye.